What's going on, YouTube? We're back with another reaction. We're back with another review. Happy Friday. And because it's Friday, I decided to do an actual music video by NF. So yes, we are continuing down the NF journey. And yes, we are continuing down the NF Clouds mixtape. So for today's music video, we got NF featuring Hopsin in Lost. Alright, so it's been a minute since I've actually done a music video from NF. I've done a lot of his audio videos, but doing an actual music video, it's been a minute. So I'm excited to really see what this one has put out, which actually I had a friend literally yesterday ask me, hey, have you done Lost yet on your reaction channel? I'm like, no. And he's like, you got to do it. It's an awesome song by NF. And I'm like, well, actually, that's my next one in line. I'll be doing that tomorrow. So here I am. Happy Friday. About to do NF's Lost, and we're gonna have a damn good time. Let's see what he's packing with, because I am a fan of NF, as you guys know. I'm a fan of Hopsin, so let's see what they got on this one. But first, if y'all would be so kind to smash that like button, smash subscribe, and hit that little bell feature notifications, that would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, NF, Hopsin, let's see what you got. Oh boy, let's do it. He's got his balloons. He's got his burdens.
Look, self-awareness, pride's a coat, and yes, I like to wear it. Buttoned up, don't like to let no air in, with a pair of gloves that I hope doesn't perish. I discovered though when
has his pride like a coat, he keeps it buttoned up so to let no air in, to not let anything else in, to keep his pride, to keep himself secure, all the way down to wearing gloves to make sure no air gets in, not even through the cuffs. That's a total self-embodiment of someone's pride. Let's talk about being fully prideful.
Buttoned up, don't like to let no air in, with a pair of gloves that I hope doesn't perish. I discovered though when I get holes in them, and I let joy in, I'm in higher spirits. My mistake.
I'm gonna be pausing a lot through this, I can already tell. That's good, but I discovered when I get holes in and I let the air in and let the joy in, I'm in higher spirits. Yeah. Keep your pride around you, and you don't let any in, you don't let any other, externalities into your life. And then you accidentally, some accidental, happiness slips in. You end up feeling better. It kind of makes it almost worth it to keep some holes in your pride.
Perish. I discovered though when I get holes in them, and I let joy in, I'm in higher spirits. My mistakes are like a screaming parrot, just repeating lyrics. I can barely bear it when I'm lost. Wrote it.
Talking back to pretty much what people have said about him, he raps about the same stuff. That his lyrics are like a screaming parrot, just repeating the same stuff. He's just spilling the same stuff over and over, he's not. He brings a completely different tonality and emotional change and different life experience and different bit of wisdom to everything he talks about. Regardless of some of the stuff he talks about is on the same playing field as older songs of his. He's not just saying the same stuff. It's not like it's just a preaching parrot.
Mistakes are like a screaming parrot, just repeating lyrics. I can barely bear it when I'm lost. Road is narrow, I'm looking down it like a gun's barrel. Aren't we all searching for the serum that could help us breathe and leave our state of peril? All of us are
Road is narrow, looking down it like a gun's barrel. We're all looking for the antidote. For the state of peril?
Aren't we all searching for the serum that could help us breathe and leave our state of peril?
Yeah. The serum that can help us breathe and leave our state of peril. We're all looking for that vice, looking for that thing to help get us away from our issues. We're all trying to find our ways to cope, to get over, to overcome. We all have our own issues. It doesn't matter if you're poor, you're rich, what nationality you are, what demographic you fall into. It doesn't matter. We all have our own issues. We all have our own small, medium, and large issues. Whether it be our own externalities or our own internalities, it doesn't matter. So we're all in that boat. Like I like that he kind of started off with, he talked about himself and his pride and how closed off he is, but then he kind of reintroduces that, we're all like this. We all have our own issues. He brings it to a level playing field.
Barrel. Aren't we all searching for the serum that could help us breathe and leave our state of peril? All of us have made defensive scarecrows that we scatter around our fields and treat like heroes when they scare away the things that we should cherish, cause we're too embarrassed to admit the fears that we're lost. Yeah, but what
We're too embarrassed to admit the fears. We all build scarecrows and place them all around in our lands to scare away the things that we should cherish. Once again, straight wisdom. We all put our own mental walls up, our own emotional walls, our own barriers. We all do that. And it's not saying that we should or shouldn't, but we put them up and to block out things that we need to have blocked out. But a lot of the things that we try to block out, whether it's good or bad, we don't try to block out good things. We always try to block out just the bad things. But incidentally, if you put up enough walls, enough scarecrows, you're going to block out the good. So you start blocking out the things you cherish, the things you want to cherish, and the things that you don't want to cherish and you should cherish, the bad things, the things that teach you. It's, there's that phrase, like people put up walls because they don't want to fail again at something. They don't want to be, something happen to them, or, let someone in or be vulnerable, and then it gets, get shit on for it or anything like that. You don't want that, but because you tend to see that as a failure. But at the end of the day, it's not a failure. Either you win or you learn. Failure is a state of mind. Like, if you fail, you've accepted the fact that you didn't win, and you're just going to be complacent with that. No, if you learn, though, it's not a failure. It's a learning possibility. So all those things that you block out, you should cherish. But we're too prideful to say what our true fears are. We put those up and we block everything out because we're too proud to state our fears. Like that. Damn.
Weighted things that we should cherish, cause we're too embarrassed to admit the fears that we're lost. Yeah, but what does it matter? I get too combative inside of me. Is a personal canvas. The pain can be flat. I get messy when I start to get rattled. The heart of a savage and quiet when I lurk in the shadow. But something on that up. I don't wanna be over dramatic, but look at the data. It's obvious that humans are fragile. We tend to get mad at the ones that call us out, but the fact is we need someone that'll be honest when we fly off that handle. I admit
Ooh. Look at the data. It's plain and simple that humans are fragile, 100%. And we hate it when someone calls us out on our stuff. But at the end of the day, we need that. We need a level ground. We need someone to keep us humble, keep us level. Or if we're flying too high on ourselves to bring us back, ground us. But also if we're too low to bring us back up. We always need someone to call us on our BS. Because you can either be too happy or too sad or too depressed or this, that, and the other. It can overcome you, and it's normal. It's he said it's in the data. Humans are fragile. We are fragile. We tend to cater towards more hurtful things, more hurtful emotions. It's easier for us to spiral and domino effect ourselves downward in a downward spiral towards bad things as opposed to good things. So it's good to have people that check us on our like it really is.
fragile. We tend to get mad at the ones that call us out, but the fact is we need someone that'll be honest when we fly off that handle. I admit I throw a fit when I begin to unravel. Keep my wits spin off the grid, but now I'm back in the saddle. My intent is not to rant, I like to own what I value. I can take you on the fence and maybe pick up the paddle. I like to roll against the current, that's the way that I travel. Opposite of what the grain has got the brain of a rebel. Take initiative, I'm diligent on every level. I never can settle, I like to keep my foot in the pedal. Yeah.
Opposite of the grain, I got the heart of a rebel. And I don't like to settle, I always got my foot on the pedal. I like that. Because the heart of a rebel, you're going against. If you're rebelling, you're going against something. You're going against a social norm. You're going against something that's that's by popular belief, and you're literally going against the grain, which is a literal term for people that have done any form of woodworking, and a figurative term based off woodworking to you go with the grain. But if you go against the grain, you're not going with the flow. You're trying to swim upstream. You're trying to go across. Like you're going against the grain. And I like how he said, I keep my foot on the pedal, always ready to go that extra inch, that extra mile, ready to start pedaling, ready to start working. Like I like that. And him talking about, with being lost, the fears of being lost. I like that this definitely plays into his album, The Search, since he left his cage and he's on the search. He's searching for hope. He's searching for something better, searching for something more. And he's got his balloons with him. He's got his balloons with him right here. Doesn't have his shopping cart though. So I think there's a reason behind that. Like he doesn't have his mental cage where he's fully out in the open, but he's lost. Like he's in this mountainous landscape in this forest. He's nowhere near civilization. Like I like that it's playing more with the black balloons and keeping his burdens. I like that it's continuing forward with the storyline, the story arc of what he's pushing with his music.
Rebel, take initiative, I'm diligent on every level. I never can settle, I like to keep my foot in the pedal. Yeah, I love to pack arenas and all, but what I really want to do is learn to handle my thoughts and put the reins on them, show them I'm the one that's the boss, and pull them back when they get out of hand and breaking their jaws. I'm taking the flaws.
Packing arenas is fun, but I want to rein in my thoughts. Like, yeah, it's cool to talk about my issues, and I'm getting all these fans, and I'll keep rapping. I'll keep doing these arena tours, and I'll keep filling the stands. Like that's great, but It'd be really cool. It'd be really cool if I could fix these issues, not just vent them appropriately to cope with them. It'd be really cool if I could actually fix these issues and not just mask them and not just vent them in the way that the best way that I can, which is rapping, which instantly is makes my career and makes my money and all that. But if I could actually ultimately fix what's going on inside my head. I'm loving how he's playing his words. I'm loving how he's just kind of continuing what he's culminating so many different pieces of what he's talked about in the past. Like I'm loving this.
I'm put the reins on them, show them I'm the one that's the boss. I'm pulling back when they get out of hand, I'm breaking their jaws. I'm taking the flaws. They told me I could never revolve. Then pull a bane on them, ask them, oh, you think you're in charge? You ought to know.
Saw the balloons in the background. Someone else had balloons in the background. Looked like someone was laying down. And damn, I have to rewind it one more. Did I just hear a Bane reference?
You always learn to handle my thoughts and put the reins on them, show them I'm the one that's the boss. I'm pulling back when they get out of hand, I'm breaking their jaws. I'm taking the flaws. They told me I could never revolve. Then pull a Bane on them, ask them, oh, you think you're in charge? You ought to know better, ain't no way.
Pull a Bane on him, unmask him, and ask him, do you think you're in charge? Another comic book reference. Well, comic book reference, but also primarily a movie reference. Of course, Dark Knight Rises, of course, with Tom Hardy's Bane. You know, unmasking Batman, unmasking my thoughts, opening up, showing them to myself without the perception of what they're putting inside my head, and ask them, do you think you're in charge? No, my thoughts aren't in charge. I'm in charge. My thoughts may be swimming around, but that does not dictate me. That's a cool metaphor that he used. And also, of course, you know me, I am a huge Marvel and DC comic book nerd. I'm just a pop culture fan in general. So referencing Bane, I'm a huge fan of Bane. So that was solid.
They told me I could never revolve. Then pull a Bane on them, ask them, oh, you think you're in charge? You ought to know better, ain't no way around it. I'm flawed, the traits that I want. They say I can't afford what it costs, but I manifested this. Failing's how you grow and learn your lessons, kids. Take the worst and try to make the best.
Failing's how you grow and learn your lessons, kids. I just talked about, you could choose to fail. Failing is a mental state. You can either fail or you can learn. And he said failing is a state where you lose and you learn. Like, he's putting it to where failing is a real thing, but you can choose to learn on top of it. Take the failure and understand it, which I think is actually another cool way to go about it. Rather, like, I've always been of the sense of, I don't treat it as a failure. I treat it as a learning experience. Yeah, it didn't go the way I intended, but I learned from it, so I can better it in the future. But he's taking it as, it is a failure. Take it. But the failure itself is a learning opportunity. So keep it known as a failure. Like, I can't disagree with that. I agree with that.
Manifested this. Failing's how you grow and learn your lessons, kids. Take the worst and try to make the best of it, cause when you fail, just know that it's a test. And if you can learn to pick yourself back up again and train your brain to not be such a pessimist, it's okay to make mistakes, just don't forget that there's a high road, but I skip the exit when I'm lost.
Ooh. It's okay to fall as long as you keep getting back up and don't let your brain become a pessimist. And like I said, but sometimes I'll skip the high road if I'm lost. When you fail and things don't go your way, you can either get low on yourself, get down, get even if it's talking about someone that did you dirty, to where you can get back at them or that, or you can be the bigger person. You can take the high road. Now, it's always, of course, the option to take the high road, always. But like I said, sometimes I don't take the high road when I'm lost. If you're lost in your own head and you're lost in your own thoughts and you're not actually yourself because you're being too consumed, your thoughts are just overbearing on you. You can't control your thoughts at that moment. You might not have that ability to step up and take that high road. It might bring you down to a level you don't want to be, and you originally would never be. That wouldn't be you. Like, that happens. It can happen, and it does happen, and that's a solid way how he put that. Because him talking about, it's a narrow road. Looking down like he's looking down at the barrel of a gun, and then rather than him taking the high road, sometimes he takes the low road, because if he's lost, he's not knowing he needs to take the high road. It can put up blinders. It can literally put up just virtual blinders to you.
To make mistakes, just don't forget that there's a high road, but I skip the exit when I'm lost. Yeah, when I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost.
Wow, these burdens are heavy, and I'm hoping it don't bury me. I used to be joyful and skip so merrily, but now I'm too cautious and tiptoe carefully.
I used to be joyful and skip so merrily, and now I'm cautious and tiptoe carefully. man, these burdens are heavy. He got Hopsin in on the burdens. Hopsin's got the balloons. Okay, mark my words, there better be more with, like, I know I'm about to get some good Hopsin verses in this, because if NF just put the first half with that and Hopsin's going to carry this on, I know it's going to be good, because A, it's Hopsin. But NF and Hopsin together, and he's got the balloons, and he's leading in with I used to be joyful, and now I'm cautious. Like, I used to be carefree, but now I'm overly careful. Like, this might get deep. And also, like, the fact that it had him in the background that whole time with the balloons, like, it was starting to bury him. He hopes that his burdens don't bury him, but it was starting to bury him in the snow. I like that until NF pulled him out.
And it don't bury me. I used to be joyful and skip so merrily, but now I'm too cautious and tiptoe carefully. My mind left, and it's nowhere to be found. Am I a big old parody? Cause it's no fair to me. And now I'm at the point where I'm spending $1,000 a week on hypnotherapy. Look, I'm trying to...
Where's my mind now? It's nowhere near me. Now I'm spending $1,000 a week on hypnotherapy. Oh, man. That's a lot of money. If that's true, that's $52K a year just on hypnotherapy. God. That's a chunk of change right there. Like, and I know going through issues and, you know, having to going through any form of therapy. Like, I know him talking about where he used to be versus where he's at now, and now he's having to go through therapy. But it just goes to show, like, him saying that, you know, it kind of plays onto what I'd said with some of NF's songs prior. Him talking about, you know, he's wealthy, but he's poor. You know, he's poor with what's going on within his head, but he's wealthy because he has money. But the thing about it is, like, just because you have money doesn't mean you don't have issues. Doesn't mean you don't still have to pay for those issues. Even him spending $1,000 a week on hypnotherapy to help his issues. Hopsin, $52,000 a year. A lot of people, that, if I remember right, that's higher than the median gross household income in America. Him spending that just on hypnotherapy to help his issues. Like, just because you're rich don't mean you have no issues. Sometimes you're rich means more money, more problems. You got to spend more money to help those problems.
Cause it's no fair to me. And now I'm at the point where I'm spending $1,000 a week on hypnotherapy. Look, I'm trying to wash away my sins. I got a group of loved ones that ain't my friends. And if I ever take a nail, then they might grit. And they all want to see me stay in the cage I'm in. So when it come to anybody that's...
I have a group of people that ain't my friends. And if I stumble and fall, you know, see them grin. Like, talking about your haters, you got people around you. Maybe they were your closest people. Maybe they were family and friends prior, and maybe not. Like, I think we've all been through there. If you've gone through any level of success, like, and I can definitely agree with that. I can definitely sympathize with that, because I've had people in my past that were friends of mine back in the day and all that. And then I went to college and I did that, and I got my bachelor's degree and I got my master's degree and all that. And I started working my way up and moving and hustling myself in the financial industry to get to where I'm at today, and still able to process and grow even farther, and going to be growing even farther with what I do. Like, I have a lot of friends that say, you know, they badmouth my stuff because I'm where I'm at versus where they're at, and they want to see me fall. They want to blame it on me being lucky or me being fortunate on certain things, when I worked a part-time job, I worked a full-time job, and I was also a DJ on the side for events and all that while being a full-time student in college. Like, you can't tell me I don't know what hard work is to get me to what I want. Like, people have said that I'm lucky or I'm blessed or I have this and that, and I've had this stuff benefiting me. No, I've had to work. I've had to work my off to get what I want. But it's just how badly do you want it? People that don't go that route, they tend to be your haters, and they're the ones that are going to try. They're going to laugh when you stumble and fall. They're the ones that want to see you not succeed. Or if you do succeed, they're going to blame it, or they're going to say it's due to luck or due to this, that, and the other. That's just life. You're gonna have people that put you down so they can try to put themselves up, to make themselves feel better about the horrible choices they make.
If I ever take a nail, then they might grin. And they all want to see me stay in the cage I'm in. So when it come to anybody, there's no trust for no one. Man, so what? My whole plan's to go nuts. My shoulder's ready for most shrugs. I'm gon' judge anybody trying to enter my circle with no love. My sanity.
I'm ready for more shrugs. No judge for anybody trying to enter my circle with no love. Like, you trying to come in my circle and you ain't gonna give me the respect and love that everyone else is giving me, and I'm giving back. You ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it in my circle. Like, I like that. Him saying, you know, I'm not gonna trust anyone. So you better pack some serious heat emotionally and mentally within myself. You better mean something to me to be in my circle. You better be bringing something that I consider serious, that benefits me and I benefit you, where we're mutual. Like, I can agree to that.
Oh nuts, my shoulders ready for most drugs. I'm gon' judge anybody trying to enter my circle with no love. My sanity's gone, I'd rather be torn from this planet they planted me on. Your stats a reward. I'm actually bored with having this sore heart. It's torn apart from a family that I don't have anymore. Man, hold up. I was living so oblivious.
I'm actually bored. The sore heart is broken because this is the family that I don't have anymore. Ooh. And family can mean anything. It can mean his actual family, his friends. It can mean any culmination of things. Like, you get a little bit of a broken heart when, like, even though you have a falling out and you're angry at people for being who they are when they're upset at you for succeeding in that, but still you miss the camaraderie. You have memories with those people that used to not be your haters and they are your haters. You don't want that to happen, but sometimes it does.
We're having this sore heart. It's torn apart from a family that I don't have anymore. Man, hold up. I was living so oblivious with millions. It really was a pity, huh? A pity. It's kind of funny what a penny does, mixed in with a mini buzz. I feel stuck. Life got me by the neck with a.
He was blind. It's pretty funny what a penny does, what money does, especially when it's mixing with a little buzz, especially if you have money and you're doing something to help numb your issues. What a buzz does, like, if you have any form of inebriation, any form of fuzzy thought process, any form of non-mental clarity, and you combine that with a lot of money, it's amazing what that can do. That can lead to a lot of problems.
It's kind of funny what a penny does, mixed in with a mini buzz. I feel stuck. Life got me by the neck with a blade against it. Cause I was running late for the train and missed it. The only thing I feel is pain and vengeance. So I'ma act out like a raging misfit. And every verse.
Ooh. Only thing I feel is pain and vengeance, so I'm gonna act out like a raging misfit. Hopsin. That's a good bar. That was good. Like that. Pretty much just saying, I'm gonna give in. I'm so full of anger right now, I'm just going to give in and go nuts. I'm going to lay it out on everyone that deserves it. Like, that's sometimes not the best way to go, but sometimes, like, it's tempting. It's tempting to go like that. Tom MacDonald even said that. Yeah, the Lord is my savior, but revenge is so tempting. You know, like, he said that in no response. Like, it is. You want to take that high road, but if you're lost, you ain't going to take that high road, as NF said. And you want that revenge because it's tempting, just like Tom MacDonald said. And you're going to act like a raging misfit, just like Hopsin said. It's pretty clear.
The only thing I feel is pain and vengeance. So I'ma act out like a raging misfit. And every verse I lay gon' stay sadistic. You wanna hate me? Good, great, terrific. You'll never see the day when my anger.
So he's gonna stay sadistic, which means being a sadist, being sadistic, you get pleasure from causing pain. You feel good for causing pain to others. And it's very say, I'm gonna cause pain, I'm gonna be sadistic, I'm gonna cause pain, I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it. Like that. A lot of people underestimate what the term sadistic means, being a sadist. Like, actually enjoy hurting someone. Like, a sadist can be dangerous.
First I lay go stay sadistic. You wanna hate me? Good, great, terrific. You'll never see the day when my anger's dismissed. You better go and change your wish list, cause I manifested this. Do not treat me like some adolescent kid. I am praying to the Lord with the book of James, hoping he go at my testament. This dark cloud, that's my residence. Demons knocking, I don't have to let them in. I done made mistakes day to day, you probably can't relate. I just ain't the same when I'm lost.
The dark cloud is my residence. Demons knocking, I ain't gonna let them in. But I just ain't the same when I'm lost. I like that. That's the whole thing on this. I ain't the same when I'm lost. Talking about giving in, just being angry and acting like an extreme misfit. Like, you wouldn't normally do that. But if you're lost, you ain't gonna take that high road. You're gonna get your revenge. You're gonna come at the people that are coming at you. Like, I like the play of the word lost in this song. Like, I really like that, and I like the message and the lesson it's putting through with this.
Make mistakes day to day, you probably can't relate. I just ain't the same when I'm lost. Yeah. When I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost.
There's more balloons. Now that can mean a multitude of different things. That ending, like, that could be, that they're stumbling because they're lost. They're stumbling on more burdens. They're creating more burdens. They're finding more burdens within themselves. But also, those are other people's burdens. They're going down the same routes as other people that have had those burdens and are lost. But it ultimately took them, because that's why it looks like that they were buried. That there's no one there, but there's just the burdens left there. Like, the bodies are gone, like they died. That can be taken in a multitude of different ways, but I like both of them. I like both. stumbling on new burdens because you're lost, because you're falling astray from the path that you need to keep going to help with your burdens, to help get you where you need to be and where you want to be ultimately. Also, but those are not new burdens just for you. Those are burdens that have been brought up and taken down other people that have been lost. Like, I like that kind of play. That there's I know you can take a song and a music video and any scene differently. Everyone takes it differently. I mean, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder for when it comes to artistry. But that's definitely like two of the main things that pop in my brain looking at that. Like, but man, that was a good song. NF and Hopsin together, man, y'all didn't disappoint. That was good. Like, solid work. Like, seriously solid work. All right, so that was my reaction to Lost by NF, of course, featuring Hopsin. And guys, seriously, like, NF coming in hard right in the beginning, just carrying it through for half the song, and then Hopsin literally coming out of the snow with his burdens, and him having the black balloons, him having the burdens. Yes, I love that he's in on the NF journey. He's in actually a chapter, a verse within the NF journey. I love that. And what they're talking about, and just, kind of not taking the high ground, being lost, and you're not yourself when you're lost. I love that how they depicted that in their own way, but also making it relatable to anyone that's listening can relate in their own way too. Like, that was really good, guys. Like, seriously, like, the bars were phenomenal. The beat was great. Like, it wasn't even that intricate of a beat. It was just, you guys carried it through with your own voices. Like, that was awesome. And the video, the cinematography, the videography, whatever you want to call it, was spot on. I love how it's just out vast open in the wilderness and the mountains and the snow, cold, desolate, kind of tundra-esque style of scenery. Very cool imagery, very desolate, which is definitely the route that you want to take away from all civilization. Definitely lost. Really cool way to put that through, guys. Like, both y'all, I tip my hat. Like, that was amazing. But if you guys like this reaction, as always, be sure to smash that like button, smash subscribe, and hit the little bell for future notifications. That would be greatly appreciated. And also comment down below. Let me know of any other bands, artists, songs, genres, any music or anything like that has any kind of emotional context or meaning, or some form of really good music video with cinematography, anything that packs a punch like that. Like, that was phenomenal. Of course, I'm continuing with the Clouds mixtape with NF. I'm going to go back and hit more NF, hit more Falling in Reverse, and more other bands and other rap artists and all that. More is coming, and more is going to keep getting put out. So keep commenting and keep letting me know, because most of the stuff that I keep putting out is stuff that you guys have all recommended. So keep feeding me, I'll keep feeding you. We'll keep that circle going. You guys all know what it is. All my subscribers know what it is. I love all you guys, but that's it. I'm out.